Test, 1, 2. He's clear. Test. Test. This is my...
For a second.
Yeah.
Test. Can you hear me? No. Can you? Testing the sound. Are you getting any amplified sound at all? Sure. Yeah. Let's see. Are we getting anything?
Before you set that up, we're trying to get the moment for a minute. We're trying to get the lav set up so that you can plug in there instead. Test. You have it over. Test. Is it better? Better. This seems better. You can also project. Try. Is it better?
Okay. Spectrum's trying it out to see if it works here. Alright, testing. Hello, speaking words into the microphone. Can you hear me in your camera, in your headphones at all? Are you at mic level? Saying words, more words, anything? Nothing? Come on, you're killing me. How about now? Anything? Is it quiet? Or just, you got absolutely nothing? Dead? You have like the wonderful perpetual buzz that our malt box makes, but no actual noise? Just static?
Just give me just a second, because we're trying to make sure that we have enough room for everyone's remarks.
That's all I need. Derek Saturday, Channel 2, Podium Channel 1. Podium Channel 1, Derek Channel 2. Football, fishing, draft handoff, walking is inclusive. The Lakers was favored. Michigan to Milwaukee. Eyes are off here, now waiting to see who gets off next or if they're the football handoff soon. So, keeping up with group there. Just a little history here, early NFL teams were located in Milwaukee, receiving fun fact, in 1939, Milwaukee hosted the NFL draft. 1939, so it's been a while. Packers in the middle portion of their schedule, the Milwaukee 1994. It's a lot of history with Milwaukee, and this is the official handoff of the torch. The next NFL draft, so we have the ceremonial football handoff and the very us here in Wisconsin has happened in Milwaukee. Watching a live picture of our crew down there in Milwaukee, waiting for that handoff. Then there will be a ceremony as well. And then once that football is handed off, and then the cyclists are going to be pedaling, bringing that football all the way along the lakeshore from Milwaukee, all the way back out here to and then right to Town. Talk to the two cyclists that are pedaling north, carrying the football to its final destination. And the names are Peter and Tracy Fleet. There's a little bit of them. The children I don't hear reference to that, to the part of this video. And some lifetime opportunities. And I'll play that for you in just a little bit. I don't want to miss the shot of the football coming out of the family, so we're going to stick with this just a little longer as our photographer gives us a different angles, waiting for that football to come off the ferry. But they can ride to him and left with the football, kind of following along the ship lakeshore, they cruise down to Milwaukee, heading this way then. And so Peter and Tracy Fleet, they are head of a local organization called WBAY. So the path tonight will be along the lakeshore, like walking in Manitowoc, WBAY, on a tandem bike to show you that event. We talked to them last week ahead of this experience. They were so excited. So maybe as we wait, I'll kind of monitor the video. So I can show you a little bit more about photographers on the move, some people there, some Packers fans got their phones ready to record this historic moment, this really cool moment. Everybody got their phones up. I do the same way. All right, looks like we're making our way out onto almost the pier to welcome in that handoff. So we'll stick live with our photographer, Will Santowski, behind the camera for us this morning. He had a early wake-up call to get the cameras today. There this morning, giving live reports for our actual news this morning. Here we go as we get a little bit closer to the action.
They're going back around, they're coming up the front.
We are standing by. We are T-minus a few minutes until Green Bay officially receives the NFL Draft Handoff. The ceremonial football is being delivered from Michigan, courtesy of the Lake Ferry, right to Milwaukee. We are anxiously awaiting as people are getting off the ferry with no football in hand, but we know it's going to happen. So we're going to stick live with our photographer there behind the camera, Will Santowski. And there you see some people with their bikes, with their NFL draft. And there's the football. Governor Evers with the handoff. There's Aaron Popke with the Packers. You've got Governor Tony Evers with the official handoff. And he has one hand in that. All right. And some instant questions for the governor. I think I heard a reporter say, "How does it feel?" As they head inside for a press conference, we'll bring that to you live. There he is. And we officially
have the ceremonial football, the handoff from Michigan to Wisconsin for the next NFL draft. There you see all of the media, all the fans there with their cameras up, all wearing their NFL draft shirts, their Viking shirts. There I think I see Peter Fluke there. He's going to be on one of the bikes riding in tandem, heading this way. Again, we have Will Santowski there behind the camera for us, capturing all of this so that we can bring it to you live. And we are just now waiting for the official press conference to get underway. There we see Aaron Popke with the Green Bay Packers. You see Governor Tony Evers there to the right, holding that football that we've been waiting for. And we're going to kind of follow that path as it makes its way all the way north here to the frozen tundra. A little bit of history here for you. So as you saw, it came from the ferry. Early NFL teams were located in Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha. And fun fact, in 1939, Milwaukee actually hosted the NFL draft. Yes, 1939. So it's been a while. There you see Packers CEO and President Mark Murphy there. The Packers even played a portion of their schedule in Milwaukee from 1933 to 1994, and then have been in our backyard here in Green Bay ever since. There you see a close-up of the official handoff of the NFL ceremonial football with the date May 14th, 2024 for next year's draft here in Titletown.
Good afternoon.
And we are starting.
All right. Big Packers welcome. Let's hear it. All right. So welcome everyone. Excited to be here. I'm Aaron Popke, Director of Public Affairs for the Packers, and really excited to be here for today's event as we hand off the NFL draft from Michigan to Wisconsin. And very excited to be here at Lake Express. And we've got a number of people here today, supporters and partners. We're going to hear from some of them here at the podium, but we've got a number of them also in the audience with us. I know County Executive is here today, Mr. Crowley. Good to see you. And from Milwaukee Mayor's Office, Port Director Jackie Carter is here. Jackie, all right, awesome. Thanks so much for welcoming us to this port. And the Visit Milwaukee team is here, led by Peggy Williams-Smith. Peggy and your team, thanks so much for being here today. And I know we've got a number of other area leaders and representatives and supporters, so very pleased to have everyone here today. And I'll mention to members of the media that are here today, our speakers that are here at the podium, as well as other people here in the audience, will be available for interviews. I encourage you to speak with them about the draft coming to Wisconsin. And to get us started, I would like to introduce from Lake Express, Chairman Mr. David Lubar. David.
Well, thank you. Yes, my name's David Lubar, and I'm the chairman and one of the founders of Lake Express. So we started this company 21 years ago, and this is what we call Cooler by the Lake today. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome the NFL and the Green Bay Packers for this historic handoff. And with that, welcome everyone. Welcome by Lake Express. And go Packers, go NFL.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Next up, to speak of the NFL draft, what it is, and having just completed its event in Detroit, Michigan, we're very happy to have Wisconsin native NFL Executive Vice President Jeff Miller. Jeff.
Thank you, Aaron. It's great to be back in Milwaukee. It's been a few years since I sat in County Stadium watching the Packers with my dad. At this point, I don't think we have any stadiums with both teams on the same sideline, so that was sort of a unique experience back in the day, but for all of you who experienced some of those games, you know what I'm talking about. And it's exciting to be here for the draft and to announce the NFL draft back in Wisconsin for the first time since 1939, December 1939 for the 1940 draft, where, as you all know, the Packers drafted 9th, I think, actually. We took the draft out of New York in 2015 after 50 years of being in hotel ballrooms and Radio City Music Hall. and started to move it around the country. We've been in Chicago and Philadelphia, Dallas, and other places, with each city and each community bringing its own special culture and community to the draft itself. In Nashville, we were down on Broadway. In Philadelphia, at the Art Museum, with tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people eventually showing up, with the draft growing every year as a great fan-facing and fan engagement opportunity for the league to be closer with our fans who seem to come from miles around to attend the draft. And of course, Green Bay will do the same. We couldn't be more excited to celebrate the tradition and the history of football, as we will at Lambeau Field and in the community in Green Bay, Wisconsin. For fans out there who haven't had a chance to be at a game at Lambeau or in the Green Bay community during a game, what a great opportunity for NFL fans from all around Wisconsin and all around the Midwest to celebrate with us next year at Lambeau. But the bar has been set high. Last month in Detroit, we had 775,000 people show up for a 3-day draft. And I am sure the Packers fans in Wisconsin will take that as a bit of a test to see whether or not we can grow the draft yet further and raise the bar higher. Regardless, Green Bay promises to be a great host. What an opportunity to celebrate Packers fans and the great history in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And we can't wait. It's been a great partnership with the Packers already and Mark Murphy, and we look forward to the next few months and getting ready for a celebration next year. So thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. The bar has indeed been raised. We know it'll be the biggest event Green Bay has seen. However many come, we'll be ready for them. And now, one of our great supporters here in the great state of Wisconsin, I'd like to welcome Governor Tony Evers. Governor.
Thanks so much, Aaron, and hello, everybody. I am really excited to be here today in Milwaukee. Milwaukee, 1940 NFL Draft was here. Today, we are with this great group to receive the ceremonial handoff from my good friend from across the lake, Gretchen Whitmer, and for Wisconsin hosting the 2025 NFL Draft. And so thank her and her staff. Congratulate them and their whole team and everyone who helped make the draft in Detroit a really great success. Folks, they've set a high bar, but guess what? We're the home of Titletown. We sure the hell aren't going to fumble it on our own turf. I also want to thank President Murphy, Commissioner Goodell, and every person who made it possible to finally bring the NFL Draft to Green Bay. I've said it before, and I obviously am a bit biased, but I can think of no better place to host the NFL Draft but the great state of Wisconsin and Green Bay. I mean, it doesn't get much better than the oldest stadium that was made for football in the NFL, home to the Super Bowl world champions and the namesake Super Bowl trophy, Vince Lombardi, and the home of the only NFL team owned by the fans. In Green Bay, we have something that is really, really special. You'll find a bond between players, coaches, community, and fans that sets our state apart, and we cannot wait to put the Packer energy center stage for the entire world to see. What's probably most special about this is the chance to give a group of rookies and their families and folks who will be sitting at the edge of their seat to see where their future will take them, a chance to start their pro football career in the great city of Green Bay. No matter where these players go from there, including those who will probably join the ranks of the Packers, I think anyone would consider that a strong start, especially if the history of 13 championship trophies and seasons have any sway about it. Folks, this is a win-win-win for our state. It's a win for the fans, it's a win for the players and all the folks that will be experiencing all that Green Bay and Wisconsin has to offer, an effort that's expected to have a nearly $100 million positive impact across the state. That's a lot of money. That's why our administration has been hard at work to make sure Wisconsin is ready to host this event and others in the future. from securing $10 million to support marketing and advertising and outreach to encourage large events just like this to be held in the state in the future, to more than $20 million for tourism's marketing activities and $2 million for Discover Green Bay to help capture the attention of thousands of folks that will be coming to our state. It's a lot of money, folks. Our administration, all our partners in Green Bay are ready. We're ready for the 2025 NFL Draft, and we're ready to show folks from across our country what Wisconsin and Cheeseheads are all about. So with that, we will see everyone in Titletown in no time. Go Pack, go. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor, and thanks for your support during this whole process. And next up, to talk about that process, our leader who said when the NFL took it on the road in 15, Mark said, hey, that in Green Bay. And so we embarked on that process, and to hear from our President CEO, Mark Murphy, here we are. Mark.
Thank you, Aaron. I feel very much at home with the Packer weather out there today. So really excited to be here today for the handoff from Michigan to the draft that was held in Detroit. It's not often I say good things about the Lions, but the great organization, and they did an outstanding job running the draft. It's become a major event, major undertaking, and really hats off to them. They did a great job, and as Jeff said, really set the bar very high. I do want to give thanks to Roger Goodell, Commissioner, for having the faith in Green Bay. I'll talk a little bit in a minute about kind of the lobbying that we did. But obviously Jeff Miller, to him here as well, and everybody affiliated with the NFL. Packers are completely very honored to host the draft in Green Bay and represent the entire state of Wisconsin. The draft has become such a big event. It's going to be a week-long commercial for Wisconsin. I don't have to tell, you're all Wisconsinites, and you know how great it is, but it's really going to open a lot of eyes across the country and the world. I do want to give special thanks to Governor Evers. He's been tremendous. Appreciate your support and the support of the Wisconsin legislature, and also to Secretary Sayers. We know this is a tremendous opportunity to promote our state in a number of different ways, but particularly with tourism. Now the attention turns to the Packers, Green Bay, and the entire state, and it's an opportunity for us to celebrate football and welcome visitors, and as has been mentioned, the great history and tradition of the Packers, and of course, iconic Lambeau Field. Preparations have been underway for a number of years. As Aaron mentioned, when the league started taking it on the road, we started lobbying the league. We were a little behind. I think, and Jeff, you would know, I think it was like 20,000 hotel rooms was kind of the minimum. We were just a little short of that. I think we're 4,500 in Green Bay. So we're going to be relying on the whole state to house fans from Madison to Milwaukee, all the way up and down the state. I think it's going to, and it was, as been mentioned, it's the economic impact will be tremendous. But it's something that we are really excited about and looking forward to. We have a great team with the Packers, led by Gabrielle Dow. She is somewhere in the building here. A round of applause for her. Many members of our staff have been and continue to work. We've been lobbying for many years, but knowing once we got the draft, the planning and the preparation has been going, and that really kicks in now that we're officially on the clock. And we hope and really believe this will be the best draft ever. Yes. All right, we have a number of great supporting companies that are helping us host this, and we thank all of them. Too many to mention, but it shows you the kind of support that we have, particularly for a special event like this. We also want to thank our community partners, including Discover Green Bay. I think Brad Toll is here. Brad has been tremendous. PMI, the city of Green Bay with the mayor, Brown County as well with our county supervisor, and then the village of Ashwaubenon. Thanks to them, all of them as well. We're really looking forward, I mentioned before, the impact. We think we will, I don't know if we'll get to 775, but we're hopeful. We're going to try to break it. But we will definitely have over 250,000 visitors. And of course, there'll be millions of viewers on TV. And as has been mentioned, the impact will be over 90 million in terms of the impact across the state. So we'll soon have this football on its way up to Lambeau Field by celebrating. I do want to mention, you can see the bikes here. One of the great traditions, I think, in the NFL, but particularly with the Packers, is the bicycle tradition, and it really shows the connection between our community and particularly younger people in the community and the team. And it's something that has been really special, and you're going to see that highlighted throughout the entire year, and particularly as we get closer to the draft. And lastly, just thank you all for coming out, and I look forward to seeing many of you in Green Bay next April. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. We look forward to the continued preparations and excitement building to the event. And speaking of the excitement and building to the event and Wisconsin and all it has to offer, I'd like to invite Tourism Secretary Ann Sayers up. Ann.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am just so honored, so excited to be here for this historic day. Thank you to the Green Bay Packers for inviting me to join in on this welcome celebration. So I got to say, in Wisconsin, we love our sporting culture. Two of our very favorite parts, biking and football. The Packers Bike Kids tradition is such a joy to see, and it is so fun to be honoring that tradition with this event. It's just so very us, what's happening here today. So as Wisconsinites, you may have noticed, we are a spirited and passionate people, and that's true for just about everything, but even more so when it comes to football and biking. You can hear it in the way we hoot, holler, and cheer at Lambeau, or ring our cowbells when the teams are racing by in a big iconic race. You can see it when we sport our team spirit at the big game or race to the trails to spend our free time on our bikes. So whether you're tailgating with your best buds or cheering on the sidelines for a big race, you can't help but feel that contagious energy of Wisconsin sports fans. And there's a reason for that. We have so much to be proud of for both sports. So 35% of Wisconsinites bike. We are proud to be home to the nation's very first rail-to-trail project, that's the Elroy Sparta Trail. We're home to renowned bicycling brands like Trek, Ceres, and more. And we're also home to popular races like Tour of America's Dairyland, which is the country's longest competitive road cycling race. And from the football perspective, and I don't have to tell this crowd, you know, the Packers have 13 total championships, the most of any team in NFL history, the first and second Super Bowl wins, and we have the most passionate fans, which I know isn't something you can exactly measure, but it's also like you kind of can, and we totally are. So, as Wisconsinites, we are so excited to welcome legions of football fans to experience Wisconsin's spirited nature and our world-class hospitality before, during, and after the NFL Draft in 2025. Whether they ferry or fly, pedal or drive, they are in for an unforgettable experience in Green Bay and beyond. Visitors are going to love soaking up the Packer energy and legacy at Lambeau and Titletown, but I also encourage draft goers to make plans now to explore even more of Wisconsin while they're here. To make it easy and customized to their interests, travelers should visit travelwisconsin.com and start planning how they're going to experience all that Wisconsin has to offer. Our famed culinary traditions, our vibrant arts and culture, endless outdoor activities, jaw-dropping vistas, live music, festivals for pretty much everything you can think of, our native roots and our thriving indigenous culture, unique accommodations from cozy to luxurious, history, wellness, golf, agritourism, shopping, and so much more. We can't wait to welcome the draft goers and help them make Wisconsin memories they will never forget. And I love that we are starting already to make those memories right now with Pedal to the Draft. This is what Wisconsin is all about. Thank you to the Green Bay Packers for kicking off the countdown to the 2025 NFL Draft in this uniquely Wisconsin way. Have a great day out there, Riders.
Thank you, Secretary Sayers. And speaking of riders, you saw a group of us here. We're all wearing our jerseys. We've got some really fun people to take part with us today. A member of Travel Wisconsin Outdoor of Office Rec, Cassie's here to represent the state. We've got Wisconsin Bike Fed represented. Milwaukee Bubbler Bike Sharing System is here in Green Bay, too. There they are. So happy to celebrate biking here in greater Milwaukee. And we're going to be making our way up to Green Bay. And here we go, yeah. All right, cyclists, come on up. So I mentioned we've got representation at the state level, Milwaukee level, and then Green Bay. We got some serious cyclists here. I want to remind them this is a no-drop ride. And for those of you who cycle, that means we're going at a pace that everyone can handle. So we got some serious bikers here who may be tempted to drop us. But we're excited about that. And as Mark said, we've got a great tradition of Bike Kids up in Green Bay that started in 1958. And I told the secretary early on that we were going to celebrate all that Wisconsin has to offer and lean into the Bike Kid tradition. So watch on social media today, #pedal to the draft. We're going to make some stops here right in the city of Milwaukee and then hopscotch our way up to Green Bay, highlighting some of the great bicycling that this state has to offer and celebrate with a ride into Lambeau Field. And if all goes well, we're going to pick up some Bike Kids at Rainitzky Field in Green Bay and unveil our draft countdown clock in the atrium this evening. So appreciate everyone here at Lake Express, the governor, Jeff Miller, Mark, Secretary Sayers, everyone for being here today. All our partners who are here in the audience and supporters, thank you for coming today. And we have a lot to celebrate and get ready for between now and April. And all of us will be a part of that. So thanks again for coming. And we will be ready to make our next transition. We've got members of the media here. As I said earlier, feel free to interview Executive Crowley and Peggy and Port Director. We got representatives here from the city and the state. Feel free to interview them. We here, the bikers, are going to make our ready to depart, and we'll have a photo opportunity outside with all our bicycles as well. So again, thanks for coming, and feel free to grab any of us if you have any questions. And with that, we will transition. Thanks, everyone. All right. Again, no drops, no drops.
All right, it is official. We officially have the ceremonial football. It's been handed off to Wisconsin. They're zooming in there so you can see the football. I believe Governor Evers is still holding that football. We showed you a little bit before about him walking off the ferry with that football. He had it tight in his hand, as he said when he was talking to everyone there. Hold that down here as we continue to get some video. They're going to do some interviews there on the ground. But as the governor said, we are not going to fumble this on our home turf. And that's going to ring true as the bikers get there ready to set on their path, heading north. They're going to pedal. They're going to make some stops in Milwaukee and kind of along the lakeshore and then make their way to Titletown. And we'll kind of follow them along the way. And earlier this week, or last week, we met up with two of the bicyclists who are going to ride a tandem bike, Peter and Tracy Fluke. They are two of the cyclists that are going to follow along as they carry the football all the way here. There's again that close-up of the football there. It doesn't get old, does it? So May 14th, 2024, we are officially on the clock, people. To tell you a little bit more about the history, and I'll cut to a little bit of video here as they're just getting photos there and stuff like that. So let me pull that up here. So a little bit of the history, early NFL teams located in Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha. As they kind of mentioned during the presser, Milwaukee actually hosted the NFL draft in 1939, so it's been a few years. A lot of things have changed. The Packers even played a portion of their schedule in Milwaukee from 1933 to 1994, and then obviously, as we know, the rest is history here in Titletown on the frozen tundra. They are still getting photos, but I'll bring you back live as the bicyclists kind of get back on their bikes and get ready to go, get their water. As Aaron Popke with the Packers said, they're all going to be in unison, in tandem. They've got some serious bicyclists that could probably run laps around the Packers, some of the Packers bicyclists, but it's all in good fun, and they're going to travel along and really highlighting what Wisconsin has to offer, including bikes. The secretary there said, tourism secretary said, 35% of Wisconsinites are big bikers. So really highlighting what Wisconsin has to offer. But so we caught up with Peter and Tracy Fluke, who are big cyclists here. They are head of a local organization, We Bike ETC. They have a deep connection to this community and the sport of biking. So their path tonight will be along the lakeshore, heading towards Manitowoc to Green Bay. And I want to bring you a little bit about what my video was playing there for you. I want to bring you a little bit about what he had to say last week when we caught up with him.
Just note that we get to play a little bit of a role in welcoming the draft to Wisconsin and to Green Bay, and we get to do it with something that's near and dear to our heart, which is bicycling. It really just doesn't get much better than that.
And there are some photos there, and Emily Riley talked to them last week. So we're hoping to kind of catch up with them and follow them along their path along the lakeshore heading north to our area. And it's more than a 100-mile trek to Lambeau Field. And then again, that's where they'll have the public reveal of the countdown clock in the atrium to show, time's up. We are on the clock. It'll bring in hundreds of thousands of people to Titletown and nearly $100 million to Wisconsin. And they mentioned the final leg of the bike trip north is going to include a long-standing tradition. There you see kids lining up with their bikes to, help the Packers get to their practice. This has been a long-standing tradition. I believe during the presser they said it started in 1958. So a long-standing training camp tradition with kids and their bikes. So kids are invited to line up today near the Ray Nitschke practice field and help escort that ceremonial football all the way into the atrium to Titletown. So wear your green and gold. We'll have live coverage there tonight of that as well. We've got team coverage coming up for you today. But so again, the total trip from Milwaukee to Titletown, if Google Maps served me right today, is about 140 miles. And that first leg is from, let me show you a little bit of that first leg that we're expecting here. Let me pull that up here for you. So that first leg is going to be from the Lake Express Ferry, which we saw earlier of Governor Evers walking off the ferry with that football, and they're going to be heading to Summerfest grounds, actually. This will be like the second leg where they then head to the art museum. A little bit more, let me pull you back in. Looks like they're still getting some video of everything, getting excited, getting their water set, getting their bikes ready to go. We'll have periodic updates for you throughout the day here on the Digital News Desk, just kind of following along with the fun as the bikers make their way to the frozen tundra. We officially now have that handoff of the football here, heading to Lambeau Field. And once again, we're highlighting those bike paths. Governor Evers even said, we're not going to fumble this on our own turf. There you see them kind of setting up, getting ready for those bicyclists to make their way through. We again will have team coverage for you tonight all the way to the unveiling of the countdown clock in Titletown. That's expected to happen around 6:30 tonight inside the atrium. So we'll have a bit more with that. So we hope you stick with us for your first alert team for the draft. I'm going to bring you back out to Milwaukee because it looks like they're getting their helmets on. They're getting ready to go. Really exciting time. Again, we have not had the draft in Wisconsin since 1939. I can only expect, what it's all going to look like when we get underway. But officially on the clock here in Titletown. So our photographer behind the camera there is Will Santowski. He's following along there. You see the ferry, where we were a little bit earlier as Governor Evers walked off the ferry holding that ceremonial football tight in his grasp. He was not going to let that sucker go. All right, we're walking over to the bikes. Let me pull that up here full screen for you so you can kind of follow along. All right, getting ready here. I believe that's Tracy Fluke. So she'll be on that tandem bike. It looks like her husband right there, Peter. So is that the tandem bike I'm looking at there to the left of the camera? How cool is that? And they're so excited to be part of this historic trip. And it's a long trip. Like I said, there's our morning anchor, Emerson Lehman there talking to them, hopefully getting a little interview with them pre-trip, and then we'll try to catch up with them after and see how it all went. But they're serious bikers, so they're going to have no issue here. I think hear what they're kind of saying there. And maybe we can bring that live to you here as we kind of follow along. Again, that first truck of the bike ride is going to go from there where they're at, the Lake Express Ferry, to the Summerfest grounds. And I think most of Wisconsin knows what Summerfest is, a massive music festival. Here we have Emerson talking to them a little bit. He's been there all day and talking a little bit about what that handoff is going to look like as well. So we're hoping to catch up with them after their more than 100-mile trek to Lambeau Field. And then again at 6:30 tonight, they will have that public reveal of a draft countdown clock where it will bring, the draft hundreds of thousands of people to Titletown, nearly $100 million to Wisconsin. The final leg of the ride before that ceremony will include our long-standing training camp tradition of kids and their bikes. That started in 1958. So that's been I think we've got that down pat then. We're a well-oiled machine when it comes to that. So kids are invited to be there tonight, lining up around, before 6, around 6, because they're hoping that this trip from Milwaukee to Titletown, that they'll be there around 6:30 or, 6:30, because that's when the unveiling of the clock is. So we will continue to bring you coverage throughout the day as that ceremonial football makes its way here to our area. We'll pick up coverage and follow along and bring you all the way to the Titletown event at 6:30 inside Lambeau Field's atrium. So stick with us as we continue to kind of follow along on this unique, awesome event where, they all talked about it during the press conference. This is a win-win-win for Wisconsin, to show off Wisconsin. Our Packers fans are spirited, passionate people. So what more could you ask for? And then starting it off in Titletown. So we'll continue to bring you first alerts as they make their way to Green Bay. So stick with us for your NFL draft coverage, and we'll sign off for now.